Hey everybody, welcome to part 3 of the Ford flip truck series. This is my $400 flip truck, y'all. It's got the 5.0 302 V8 motor in it, and we're having some issues with it. Just to bring you up to speed, in case you haven't been following along, this engine has a dead cylinder, and as we have dug all the way down to the camshaft, and we still have not discovered exactly why. So at this point, head needs to come off, and we need to get in there and see if that's a valve, if it's the rings, what have you. So at this point, we're done digging. Engine's coming out. We're going to go ahead and pull the engine and the transmission, y'all. And in case you weren't aware, this is a 2-wheel drive automatic. We'll start by jacking it up and getting it on some jack stands. I think I'm going to start out on the transmission mount back here at the back of the transmission, and we'll go from that to linkage and pulling all these plugs off. I think we could just leave this little guy behind. Take that off and kind of slide it over to the side like that. Hopefully I could push this rod through here. It's trying to come off. Come on, stubborn shit. Alright, finally. I think next we will try breaking loose the exhaust manifolds. Golly, that thing is on there. Nope. Alright, next up, exhaust manifolds. Yes, they are on there. A little trickier over here on the passenger side. Everything's a little tighter fit, it seems like. To get to this last exhaust manifold bolt, I think it's going to be way easier just to remove the starter first. And I think that'll give us better access to the bolt. Yeah, because it's kind of tucked away, kind of back up in there, you know. So having this out of the way, I think, will be beneficial. Take this wire off of here first. It's worth mentioning to always remove your battery cables first. Get that battery disconnected before you do stuff like this. We'll start by removing the top bolt. These are actually pretty easy to take off. It's just got 2 bolts, one here, and then there's another one down here on the bottom. One of the last bolts on the exhaust, and man, this one here is no fun. Ah, thank God it didn't break. I thought for sure we was going to twist that one off. So we've got the exhaust loose. Let's get our O2 sensor unplugged here. There we go. All right. Let's see what else to do. I could leave the cooler lines on. I don't even have to take those off. We'll drag all that out with it. Obviously, we've got some plugs left that are going to need to be unplugged off of the transmission itself. We're back here at the back of the transmission. You can see we've got a little cover there with 2 8mm bolts that's going to have to come off. There's a plug-in behind it that's going to have to get unplugged. You can see back here at the tail shaft, we got our speedometer cable running in here that we'll have to take that loose. And we've got, this is the harness. It kind of goes up and over the transmission, and this is the one we'll be unplugging after we pull that little cover off with the 8mm bolts. And I do believe at that point, this here, we already took that off earlier, you remember? So we can just leave that laying to the side. So we're just about to have everything from the transmission, the exhaust, and all that done. And then really all that's left is motor mounts and maybe a few more plugs. I'm expecting there to be a few plugs like on the engine that maybe we might have missed that will need to be unplugged as well. So anyway, we're moving along. We're getting it. I'm gonna use my air hose to blow some of this grease and dirt off so I can see what I'm working on. I think we'll start by removing the speedometer cable. I think once I work that plug off of there, I'm going to go ahead and stick this guy back in there and pull it off right here. I was noticing there's a little clip right here we could pull out instead. Let's try that. So yeah, you see there, I went ahead and just pulled the clip and got the cable itself out. The clip is located right there. Can you see it? You just pull that out and the cable will slide out. That'll make it where we can put this guy back in there. This way we won't lose it and we won't get debris or anything in there as well. So this will be a lot better way, I think. So I think we're down to the last plug on the transmission, and it hides behind this little cover. It's got these two little bolts here. We'll get those off and see if we can't dig it out. Yeah, they didn't give us any room with that exhaust in the way. That plug is right there. I think we ought to do the motor mounts next. And here's the one on the passenger side. So I do believe the engine is, everything's all unbuttoned. She's ready to come out of there. Now I thought since I was doing this by myself, and since I am pulling the engine and transmission out as one piece, we would go ahead and take this radiator support out of the way. That way we don't have to lift it up so high. Yeah, I mean, instead of having to come up over this radiator support, we'll only have to come up as high as the cross member, really. That's about it. And then we could just drag it right on out of there. I think that'll be a lot safer. This radiator support comes out super easy. It's just got a couple of bolts, one right here, one over here. Those are the mounts. Take those off, and then we'll get the headlights out of the way super easy. Couple of bolts here, a couple of bolts over there coming from the inside. That'll come out of the way. And they're just a handful of bolts coming up each side. They're kind of hidden in behind these headlights. We'll get to them here in just a minute. And I'm telling you, man, a good 15 minutes you'll have this thing out of your way. We'll start with this bolt here. This is the mount I was talking about. Got myself an impact and a long extension running all the way down in there. That way I don't have to get rid of all of this stuff. I could just leave it there. I told you it had a long extension. So yeah, once we got the nut off the inside, we could come under here and pull the bolt out. So yeah, we'll just repeat that same process over here on the other mount, and that part of it's over with. And next we'll get the headlights out of the way. Now these down in here are a little harder to get to. And as you can see, 4 bolts in total, and this guy will come right off of there. Yeah, we'll just repeat the same process over on this other side. This thing's gonna come apart. So yeah, we have this old radiator support off here in no time. So you can see here with the headlights out of the way, it exposes all the bolts that we're gonna need to undo the fender from the radiator support, and then that's it. That thing's gonna come right out of there. Just getting the last of the bolts out now. So once you got all your bolts out, this little plate will come off. Oh, that was this guy right here. We'll get that on out of the way. You guys remember this is what it looked like here. Once that's out of the way, this radiator support will be able to slide forward. Okay, so that takes care of that side as well. I gotta go through, unplug my horns, and around on the back side of here, there is a wiring harness that attaches to the bottom side of that radiator support. I don't know if can you see it there. We'll have to disconnect that as well. So yeah, we just got a couple grounds we got to undo. We got one here and then one over there by the battery. Don't want to forget your headlight. Probably just string this up over here out of the way. There we go. There's another bracket on each side you'll have to undo. Alright, so we got the bracket undone on this side as well. Now they hide a couple of bolts up inside of there, and they're kind of located right in there. Not hard to get to. You don't have to remove anything or anything like that to get to them, so pretty easy. So I told y'all it'd take about 15 minutes to get this thing off, but I lied to you. I totally forgot about these little brackets in here. It's got these little brackets inside here, and what that does is that holds that stuff to the radiator. It's just a little brace that kind of holds it. It's the same way over on the other side. You can see there, we got to undo those two bolts because that's what holds the battery tray to the radiator support. So, you know, a couple more minutes worth of work. So there'll be a couple of more bolts under here that you'll have to get out. They look a little something like that there. And all that does is hold the splash shield to the radiator support. And at this point, I do believe everything is off of this. I mean, you can see we're moving around. I think we're going to lift it on up out of there. Why not? Well, all right, you know, good 20 minutes worth of work and she is out of there. I mean, damn, y'all, look at all the room we got for activities. I don't care what you say, that was definitely time well spent. We'll be able to drag this motor just right out of here. We ain't got to raise it up to the moon this time. I'm thinking I'm going to position. My jack right underneath the transmission pan here. And what we're going to do is we're going to jack it up just high enough that the transmission, the mount bolts back here at the tail shaft go up through the cross member here. Thought maybe we'd go ahead and take this rear transmission mount out of the way, because by the time I jack it up high enough for the bolts to come out of the holes on the cross member, it's hitting the bottom of the floor. And I'll show you here in a minute. There's no way it's going to slide out like that because it's hitting up against a little seam up there on the firewall, and it's just not going to budge. So I think it'd be a lot easier just to go ahead and get this guy right here out of the way. There we go. Well, it's all hooked up and ready to come out, I think. The hoist is in place, chain is hooked up. I believe everything is unhooked. We're about to find out. Oh, here we go. It's coming loose, y'all. Show you right here what I was talking about. You can see the bell housing is catching right on that lip, so we're gonna have to drop it down just a little bit, and having that mount out of the way is going to allow that to happen now. There we go, something like that. You can see right in here where we are up just high enough right here, we should be able to start sliding it forward. That's the motor mount, and we are up out of the groove where it bolts in, so it should slide forward. Starting to wiggle around. There we go. Alright, so this is kind of funny, y'all. I've been yanking on this thing for a few minutes now, trying to figure out what the hell's going on, and it's this damn ground strap still stuck on here. I went over this thing with a fine-tooth comb to make sure everything was unhooked, and I'll be damned if it wasn't something right out in the open. And we are making a mess, that is for sure. Get that around that last harness, we'll be free. Get these cooler lines over here out of the way. And that right there is where she's gonna spend the night. Well, there you have it, y'all. She's out of there. God, what a mess. Yeah, she's filthy. I told y'all she is nasty. Everywhere you look, about an inch thick of just crud. She's leaking for a long time. She's been needing this for a while, y'all. Oh man, you guys didn't think we were done yet, did you? Let's keep tearing into this thing. I want to know what the hell's wrong with it before I go to bed tonight. Well, here we go, the moment of truth. It's not good, y'all. Oh man, damn. I don't know if you guys can see this, but we got a piece of the piston actually missing right off the top there. Can you see that? Yeah, that ain't good. I wonder what happened to it. I wonder why it did that. I mean, here's the valve. You see it ain't been firing for a long time. The exhaust valve should look like that. Like how those are. Instead, they're both black. So yeah, I mean, we knew it was dead. Let's turn the motor over a little bit and see what that cylinder looks like. The cylinder don't look too bad. I mean, I could feel a little bit. I can't get a good shot, you guys. You guys, it's getting late. All my batteries went dead and all my lights. I'm filthy. I need to hit the shower. I wasn't going to stop until I had this engine out and tore down once and for all so that we could see what's going on. I wish I could get a better shot for you. I'll get all my stuff charged up overnight and we'll pick up in the morning. But anyway, you'll just have to kind of take my word for it. Feeling around in there, it feels like something that would probably just hone right out. I don't think it would need board or anything. So yeah, man, I don't know. You guys leave me a comment, dude. Like, what do you think happened there? Because I don't know. I was expecting like a blown head gasket or something like that. I was expected to tear this apart and have that piston be nice and shiny and clean from being pressure washed, you know, basically steam cleaned for a long time, which is basically what happens when you have a blown head gasket. And no such luck. That would have been an easy fix, but apparently we're going in even further. Some of y'all said maybe we should get a salvage yard motor. I don't know, man. I think it would be a really good selling point for this thing if we get it dialed in nice and actually sell it with, you know, an overhauled engine versus just some more salvage yard junk. Hey, man, I told y'all this thing was filthy. Good Lord, look at this thing. What a nasty mess. Can you believe this? I mean, look at this, y'all. That is bad. I've seen 60-year-old trucks that didn't look that dirty. That's ridiculous. So, hey, I guess we'll get it tore down, throw some rings in it, and then we'll put it all back together with some new bearings, new gaskets, seals, all that good stuff. I mean, there ain't no damn sense of tearing it down this far and then not going back with all good stuff. And I'm really considering doing that 303 cam. A lot of you guys have been suggesting a 303 racing cam, kind of a mild cam. Not big enough to affect anything. We won't have to upgrade all the other stuff. We'll be able to run our stock injectors, stock converter, all that stuff. So anyway, I think it'll give it a nice little lopey sound at a stoplight. You know how they sound with, you know, some good dual exhaust, something like that. I think this truck needs that. It deserves that. It's an OBS, for Christ's sake. So, hey, it's getting late. Like I said, I wasn't going to bed tonight without knowing what in the hell's wrong with this thing. And, hey, now we know. It's a little more than we'd bargained for, but we can still handle it. It's just a few more parts we got to throw at it, a little bit more time. But when it's done, it'll all be worth it, I promise you. So, hey, you guys, y'all be sure to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, man. I'm working hard for you guys, man. Give me a thumbs up. Share the videos. Do something. If you haven't subscribed yet, man, what are you waiting for? Come on, man. Join the Weird Beard fam. We got a lot of really good subscribers, and if you don't believe me, go check out the comment section, man. Very supportive. It's a good little group to be a part of, you guys, so you're missing out if you're not subscribed. I'll leave a link to my Instagram in the description as always. Hit me up on Facebook. Friend request me so that you can always get a notification every time I put a video out, just in case YouTube don't notify you. I send out all my own notifications through Instagram and Facebook. So if you ain't got one, get you one, man. That way you'll always know when I put a video out. If you guys want to email me, if you're interested in the truck, I know I've got a lot of people asking about it, actually. It's kind of cool. Email in the description. And we do appreciate all the support from everybody, man. You guys are great. I don't know if you guys noticed, the videos are getting a lot closer together, just like I promised, man. We got that high-speed internet, and we are just cranking out the videos, y'all. But I am going to get out of here for now, so I'll see you guys next time.